Okay, and a very surprising result. France have beaten Scotland 27 points to 10, and they could have had an extra 28 points that they had with disallowed tries here. This was a complete turnaround by France. They put Entermac at fly half, which I thought was a very dangerous decision, looking at the predicted lineups in the week. It's turned out to be an ingenious one. I think we know who the starting fly half for France is going to be in the next game. I'll be very surprised if Entermac doesn't start at fly half in the next game. Very surprised. They came out like a freight train. Slightly rushed play and slightly sloppy handling. Denied Penaud a well-worked try. The tiniest of knock-ons by the scrum half. But Scotland are reeling. They can't get their hands on the ball. Entermac's try is France at their best. That is created by Penaud and Ficou. And Entermac, whether he's an out-and-out fly half or not, he's only played 8 games there in his professional career, short professional career. That was a well-taken try. And Ramos, they finally got someone who can convert kicks. Well, he missed a couple today, but he converted the conversion. He then slots a penalty on 16 minutes, and Scotland are wobbling badly. Laidlaw responds with a penalty on 25 minutes. The Uge yellow card, 27 minutes. I'm thinking to myself, France could implode right now. They didn't. Scotland did not score a single point when France were down to 14 men. The Ficou disallowed try, was there a slight knock-on in there? Probably. But France showed more with 14 men than Scotland did with 15. They had no control of the possession, the pace of the game. They were second best. Half time comes and it's 10-3. It could have been 24-3. It really could have. There was a missed penalty in there as well from Ramos. Could be 27-3. It really could have been that big a scoreline. Uge scores a try in 41 minutes. They come out like a freight train. They do. France came out like a freight train. And Uge's try is well deserved from the hard work. That's a team try. There's a try disallowed on 72 minutes. It's quick thinking by Ficou. They've tackled the Scottish player. He's carried the ball over the line. He's placed it on his hand, but then who gets the downward pressure? It's a 50-50 call, but it was very, very quick thinking by the French. It means they had a 5-metre scrum. And what happens from a 5-metre scrum? Aldrit gets his first try in 75 minutes. So the French are still getting points. The conversion is missed again, so there's a lot of missed conversions. So kicking is still an issue for France at this point. I think Serine missed that conversion. Ali Price goes up the other end and does score. They put Hastings on at fly half. Horn moved to inside centre. They looked better. I think Horn at fly half, okay, he is competent, but he's not Finn Russell. And if Scotland want to play this one style of play, it didn't suit. Hastings, I think that's your fly half option if Finn Russell is injured. That's why I think the fly half option is. He looked far more competent at inside centre than Peter Horn. And the Ali Price try, they left it too late. They really could not get down the opposition ends. They didn't have enough ball in the opposition 22. And there wasn't enough control in the 9, 10, 12 axis throughout the game. There was not enough control. Aldrit had a disallowed try on past 80 minutes because the French decided to go for the bonus point. But it was a penalty in their favour. Was it a double movement? Did Camille Schack carry him over the line? They had a penalty advantage, but Aldrit, it's a carbon copy for Aldrit's second try of the match. But 7 minutes after 80 minutes, yes, the French went for the bonus point. And they got the bonus point. Now, that is the best I've seen the French play for the better part of 10 years. They were free-flowing, but also hard-working. The first half was the French showing flair. The second half was the French showing power. And yes, they did look a little bit tiring. And the Scots did not take advantage of a very tired French team. They didn't. Very disappointed with Scotland today. I understand there's a couple of players injured. In fact, you could actually make a starting lineup of injured players that are out at the moment with some form of injury. But they did not take advantage of a French side low on confidence. A French side which is still playing Penaud out of position. They did not target Penaud's wing at all in defence. That was a key weakness against England. Didn't target him. Not enough kicks in behind. Not enough little chips. And the French were allowed to control the pace of the game as the second half wore on. They were starting to get tired, but they were still allowed to control the pace of the game. Right, on the the notes of the day. Scotland have not won in Paris in this competition since 1999, which was then the old Five Nations. They haven't won for 20 years in Paris in the Six Nations, Five Nations. And France have had 4 tries disallowed. That was a possible 28 points that were disallowed today by the TMO. Imagine if they scored those 4 tries, this could have been a cricket score. A cricket score I was predicting the French to concede, not score. So the French have defied expectations. They really upped their game today. The 4 or 5 changes they made really showed off the bench and in the back line. Ntamack at fly half. Whether he actually is a fly half or not, he's still young. He's played 8 games in that position at club level, and that was his 3rd cap for France, and they've shoved him in at fly half. Far more competent than Camille Lopez, and the whole French back line stepped up. Bastereau, the little chip and catch and set up for, I think Uge's try. Bastereau sets that up. Does something that Bastereau it's not going to do. But he did. The Scots were like the Welsh in the first half against the French throughout the entire game. They just were not intense enough. They had no control over the pace of the game at all. None. And were thoroughly beaten and deservedly beaten. And they could have been 28 points worse off, if not more, because there were a lot of missed kicks in here by the French as well. They could have had 30 plus points put on them. That could have been a big scoreline. Also, Scotland's away form in this tournament. They've only ever won 7 games in the Six Nations away from Murrayfield. 4 or 5 of them against Italy. Italy have got the worst team for the away form in the Six Nations, but Scotland's away form in the Six Nations is non-existent. It's 7 wins in 19 years away from home. It's not going to do it. There's a reason why Scotland haven't won the Six Nations competition. There's a reason why they haven't won in Paris for 20 years. They're away form. It's not good enough. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. France, surprisingly but deservedly, win this game. And let's hope for an equally enthralling and interesting and possibly surprising game in Cardiff between England and Wales. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your comments below and I will have some more videos for you soon.